secrets burning, I'll explain. Seems to me you had no plan.
Hey, we are live. Episode 1.
Episode one. We're here. We're finally here. We've been talking about it for a while.
Episode 1 of the Moonlight Grams live show. Is that what this is called?
Yeah. I guess we got to come up with a name, right?
Yeah, we should call it the Moonlight Grams. Well, it's called the Moonlight Grams Podcast 1, Episode 1. No plan.
Yeah. We clearly have no plan on this podcast yet.
We have no plan. That's what you're hearing right now. We did drop a song today. It's called No Plan. And this is it. We're gonna show you more of it, but this is what it is. I think that's the end, right?
Yeah, that's the end.
Yeah, we're gonna go back. We're gonna dissect that thing, but I guess so. Yeah. So I'm Eric Roberts. I play guitar and I sing a little bit. There's what's your name?
What's my name? My name is John McCann, and we are a band. We're the Moonlight Grams, and we I guess it's been a year since we joined forces. It's been about a year. Yeah.
Has it been?
Yeah, it was January of last year that I guess we started practicing for these gigs. We just chose a bunch of songs and we started practicing.
Oh,
now we know them by heart.
Right. It was like January.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we played our first gig in January too, didn't we? Didn't we play, or was it February?
We played in early March. We played at Tito's, right down the street.
Tito's.
Yeah, so we played at Tito's right down the street, and so we played probably 25-ish gigs this year
In March. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is. We did take some time off, which is good.
Yeah, we've taken a little time off. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so that's John McKeechin. Do some people call you that? John McKeechin?
My name is spelled like McKeechin, and every single person who's I say every single person, there's like 5 people in my life, or that I can remember, that got it right the first time. And so I've always said, like, if you say my name right the first time, you can't read. So
yeah, McKeechin.
Some people will say like McMetchin or it's like McMoochie, or it's like, where'd you get that? Like it says McKeechin on it. It looks like McKeechin. Just say McKeechin.
So it looks like McKeechin, but it's McCann.
Right.
Who makes that up? Who made that up?
Some Scottish person. Like
did your dad,
hundreds of years ago.
When you were like 9, did your dad say all the kids at school are calling you McKeechin? And you're like,
yes. That's what my friends today still call me McKeechin. So, high school friends. Yeah.
They do? They still think your name's McKeechin?
Well, I don't think my name's McKeechin, but
they just
call me
McKeechin?
Yeah.
They should have come up with like a cool nickname, like McKeechy or something, or like McKitchen. I don't know. I can't think of.
I had so many nicknames growing up. I feel like.
Did you?
Yeah. Some I was okay with.
Go
some
through those.
Some I wasn't okay with.
You want to talk about the nick? I didn't have.
You'd save that for another podcast.
Yeah, I was go through. I didn't have a lot of nicknames. I do have one nickname, but it's awkward, so we'll talk. We'll do the nickname episode.
Both have scarred pasts of nicknames.
Yeah. So all right, so we're gonna do origin story. We're just gonna do real quick origin story. Like we'll talk. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first. Go first.
So you can know what to say.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I have to sit over here and think about it.
So I play guitar mostly. So I think we were just gonna do origin, like basically what how we started to play the music all the way, and we're not gonna take this. Will take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be an abbreviated
we don't give up our entire life story.
Yeah, I started at 8th grade, and I think my origin. I'll just do the basic origin story. Was 8th grade? I think it was probably 8th grade. My friends were playing guitar, and I thought it was cool, and I was like, "Oh, I want a guitar." And I think so I asked for a guitar, and I got an acoustic guitar, and then I asked for another guitar, and I don't remember getting the acoustic really. but I remember getting the electric. It's actually hanging up there. It's that red one up there.
What, this one right here?
Yeah, that one. Right
Oh,
there.
nice.
So I got that. It's an Oscar Schmidt, and I remember opening that sucker on like Christmas morning. I think it was Christmas or birthday. I'm terrible at this. I can't remember that, but I remember I took it upstairs. I laid it on my dresser and I covered it up with like a blanket at night. That's so weird. I'd like polish it, like covered up. And then my sister dropped it down the basement stairs, somewhere in.
So she basically broke it like
Yeah,
when you first got
she
it.
shattered my dreams. No, it just has that. See that gouge in it right there? That's from her dropping it down the stairs.
Right here?
Yeah. But other than that, I got the guitar. I started playing in a band. We were playing every day in my basement. We got a set of drums. My parents did all that. They let me have all this stuff. I don't know why, because drums are loud, and my friends were.
Oh yeah, there was no way my parents were letting me have drums.
Yeah,
I mean, they weren't going to tell me that outright, but that wasn't happening.
They let me have drums, and they let me put them in the basement. So every day after school we'd play, and then I had his drummer Billy Mattingly. He played. We played at his house a lot, and then we played at our 8th grade dance. We played what was it? So we had a drummer, a bass player. I think might have been. I'm not going to remember all those guys because we all switched around in the beginning. Though I do remember we played Enter Sandman from Metallica.
Oh heck yeah!
At the 8th grade dance, dude, that was awesome. And we only knew one song. So when
do we have video of this by any chance?
I think Billy Mattingly has a video of it, but I know his dad would have, but who knows where he's at? I haven't seen him forever. I think he lives in.
Of course, people didn't get it on their iPhones then. I mean,
This was 1990.
Yeah, there were no iPhones in
1992 probably.
Okay, yeah.
There's nothing. But our parents were probably there with like
equipment.
the big giant video cameras that were like that big on their shoulders. So I played that, and then after that, like the crowd went wild, dude. It was like, I'm sure it was just 8th grade, but it was like a mob of kids, like encore. Oh man! And we only knew one song, so we just played it again. And then after that, I was like, dude, I was in a band. I was the coolest person in my head, at least. And now I already had a girlfriend. I got a girlfriend in 6th grade, so it wasn't really. But I always used to tell my guitar students, just get a.
You got a girlfriend in 6th grade?
Yeah, that's terrible, isn't it?
I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I mean, I didn't get my first girlfriend until I was like 27.
Oh, dude, my first girlfriend I had from 6th grade all the way through almost to the 9th grade.
Oh wow,
I was a long girlfriend.
Now there were certain girls at that time that I would have loved for them to be my girlfriend, but they were not going to be my girlfriend.
Did you say what? When was your first girlfriend? What did you say? College, or did you say?
I was like 27 when I actually had my first
legit girlfriend.
Yeah,
I did not know that. We'll have to go back to that one.
Yeah. We can talk about.
Well, maybe you should call her back again and say like,
she's married now. So
let's not do that.
Yeah.
My first girlfriend's dead though. It's sad.
Oh, that's not good.
Sad.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are dead actually from junior high, and I was in a bad crowd. Yeah, I've got several of them were passed away, drugs, and
oh man,
in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Because they just never stopped doing crap. Ooh. So but I started that kind of young, but then and I wanted to be a rock star. So all through junior high I was playing, got in a lot of trouble with that crowd. Then became a Christian like 11th grade, but then I went to church, started playing at church. Then I was in a Christian band in college. I traveled all over. We were called Herman's Dew. And
I'm learning new things today.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. Yeah, I had no idea.
Herman's Dew was we were pretty. I mean, I think we were like in probably like 97, 98, 99, all the way almost to 2000. I quit the band. We had three albums out. We traveled and did a bunch of like youth conferences and stuff like that.
So were you the guitarist?
I was a guitarist.
Yeah. Okay.
And we had a chick singer.
Okay.
It was like a pop, ska, punk, rock band with a girl singer.
Okay.
It was weird, but good. I mean, melodic. I mean, I wrote a lot of the stuff, so it was pop rock sort of.
Right.
But then my bass player, he was into ska and like punk. My drummer was into punk. So then they started kind of teaming up with this punk ska. And with my like more rock and roll blues background, we had some good stuff. It was a kind of a mix. And we have some really heavy stuff on our last album, some screaming.
Wow.
But so we'd have the girls singing, and then we'd have like screaming. The drummer would just scream.
Okay, so you weren't screaming.
No, I would
Okay.
never scream.
Okay.
I sang a couple songs on that in that band, like 1 or 2 songs, but mostly we played electric and I played acoustic, and we played forever. And that was the last real. I think that was the last real band I was in, like actually not church band. Let me think. I think that was the last like not church related band I've been in
Okay.
until now.
Okay. Yeah. How long ago was that?
It was like 2000. I quit in 2000
Wow. Okay. So
or 99 when I got married. That's what happens when you get married. You gotta quit the band. Unless you get like a rider up front with the new girl and you say like, I'm staying in the band.
You're not making this enticing for me to do.
Yeah.
That's marriage thing.
You get married, then your wife says like, oh, you gotta stay home, like do all this stuff, and so you quit the band. But no, I quit the band
until you join another band.
Yeah,
Until you join a
yeah.
much better band.
Well,
later
I'm still
on.
married and I'm in a band now, so I guess
so
it
there
can
you
come
go.
around. But in the college band, I mean, we were traveling every weekend. I was also leading worship, I think full time at that point, and getting married, and I was teaching guitar. I started teaching guitar when I was like 16 out of my parents' basement. So I was teaching guitar, playing in the band. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
I just got older.
There you go.
I'm not teaching out of my parents' basement, but I'm not even really teaching guitar anymore. But anyway, that's sort of my origin. And now I'm in the Moonlight Grahams. And I mean, I've recorded between my wife's a singer, she's a jazz singer now, but we were doing like we recorded albums together that nobody will ever hear, hopefully. After Herman's Due, I did a couple like solo worship albums.
Yeah, she's a great singer.
And now she's doing jazz. We tried to mix our styles together, but they never really mixed. She was more of a jazz, you know her, and then me. It's like, how does this mix? She's not. I was like, you could be in my rock band, and she's like, well, I like to sing jazz and ballads. So she tried to do country. We tried to do a bunch of stuff, but at this point in our journey, I'm playing my own music. She's playing her own music, so we're not trying to. And I'm actually going to sing some of her jazz stuff, but that's okay. It's a discombobulated mess, but it started good. Other than my girlfriend passed away, and several of my friends that I used to play in a band. I think he was our first singer. I can't remember what Robbie was. He passed. Can't remember if he was. I don't know. We would just pick in junior high and high school. We would just pick people and be like, "Hey, you sing, you play the drums, we had a couple core musicians. Everybody else was just like, I want to be in the band. Okay, you can be bass player." And so that's how that was.
Okay. Yeah, I learned quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned quite a bit about
all right, well,
music
good.
background.
The podcast has been worth it then.
I know. It's kind of like we're the podcast is more of us learning about each other's backgrounds here.
We actually have viewers too, so leave comments if you want to make fun of John while he tells a story.
Oh, we have viewers.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
We have actual viewers.
Oh, nice.
The first podcast got viewers.
Yeah. So, all right. So I guess my music background's kind of interesting. So I come from a very musical family. My really started with my grandfather instilling music into all us, my grandparents. And so my dad, he's a great piano player, and so I got cousins who are doing stuff here in Nashville as well, and then I got another cousin out in Pennsylvania that he made it big in Blind Melon, and so he did the song with us, A New Chapter, which we'll at some point talk about, but
Roger, right?
Rogers. Yeah, Roger Stevens. So so he's in Pennsylvania now. It's in Philadelphia, but no, my background was interesting. I was a late bloomer. I didn't get started in music. I was always told you should be singing, you should be doing all this stuff, and I was like, no, I want to do sports. Like I want to play baseball, I want to watch football, I want to not do music. And so I didn't
really wait. Early days, people were telling you, "Hey, you should do music," and you were just really into sports.
Yeah.
Was it all playing sports or watching sports?
Both. But I mean, I grew up a diehard sports fan, so like I was, and still am, a huge Ole Miss fan. Ole Miss football, Ole Miss baseball, Ole Miss basketball, Titans, Tennessee Titans.
But you were like
think-
die hard, followed the coaches, followed the players.
Oh yeah,
watched all the
yeah.
games.
So big Cubs fan, big Braves fan, like all of that. Going to games, and so I didn't really have. I mean, I like listening to music, but I didn't have interest in playing it. And so I had taken piano lessons for a couple of years, like when I was 7 and 8 years old, and then my teacher, she moved off, and you know, she was a nice lady, but at the time she was kind of scary. But
Your piano teacher?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was really, really nice. But so anyway, I was kind of dormant for a long time, and then I took a guitar class at my school when I was 16. And so they had this this beginner's guitar class
At
at
high
CPA.
school?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, which is, you don't hear about that much, but I learned most of what I know on guitar in that class. And so yeah, so then I started picking the piano back up and started singing. It was interesting because I have a friend who, in that guitar class, I was just kind of singing to one of my songs whatever it was, I don't know, maybe it was like Take It Easy or something like that. And he looked at me and said, "You're good." I was like, "Really?" And so this isn't just my parents and grandparents telling me this, like, oh wow. So anyway, and that kind of gave me some confidence. And so, long story short, over time, like I started really getting into music. I started playing the piano a lot. I would go in college. I was at Ole Miss, and I minored in music there, but I would go to the piano rooms at like 1 a.m. And for some reason they kept those open, and I would just play, and I would do scales and all that kind of stuff. And so over time I just, and I would,
During college, now you took like a minor, right?
yeah, I minored in voice. And so I was classically trained, and but also when I was in college, I started recording. And so it was just GarageBand. And at the time I thought they were great, and back then they were terrible. But I was building this foundation for writing music, doing covers and that kind of thing. And so, I mean, I would do that until like 3 or 4 in the morning, like every night. And so,
So you were in high school, played guitar, then you went to college, took a minor, and then just stayed in your dorm room the whole time writing like 47 covers.
yeah. And so and again, like a lot of the stuff that, we released a new chapter a few weeks ago, and that was, I wrote that in college, and I had actually done I was actually going to put it on this first original album that I had done in college. I never, it's kind of hidden, and so people can't find it, but
It's not on there, right?
no, it's not. I was telling somebody the other day, I'm really glad I didn't release it then, because, it ended up being, Rogers ended up playing on it, which was really cool. And it sounds a whole lot better now than it would have at the time. But it was kind of dormant for about a little over a decade before it got released. And so, yeah, so really, I've really just been over time. I released a folk album about 5 years ago with the name The Moonlight Grams. So that's where really the Moonlight Grams started. And so,
Well, that's good, because we had a comment from Shannon. She wants to know, how did you choose the name Moonlight Grams?
so
Might as well clear that up right
yeah,
now.
yeah. So, a buddy of mine, a good buddy of mine from elementary school, all the way back to kindergarten, still good friends to this day. We started the band together about a decade ago. So, and I'm a big baseball fan. I love the movie Field of Dreams. I know a lot of people hate that movie, but I love I love the the baseball, all the baseball stuff in that movie. And so Moonlight Graham was a character in that movie, and so basically, yeah, I was thinking of names, and I thought of Moonlight Graham, and I was like, what if we were just like the Moonlight Grahams? He's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So that's where it started. But yeah, it comes from the movie Field of Dreams.
Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, and he's a real person. He's a real person.
They called him the Moonlight Graham.
Well, his name was Archibald Moonlight Graham. So Archibald was his real name. So
Archibald Graham.
Yeah. So so basically they made a movie about him, and he I guess he never got an at-bat in the major leagues. I think that was the story. He was never able to get an at-bat, and then he got sent to the minors, and then he became a doctor. And so he was just a little bit short of his dream, even though he was able to get into a game, but he never got that at-bat he wanted. So
he failed at his baseball dreams? Is that, or
I guess basically, and then I guess the movie gave him an opportunity to fulfill his dream. So yeah, but that's basically how the name came up.
So why do people hate the Field of Dreams movie?
I listened to this podcast, and they love to just rip on that movie, and I was like, I don't know why. It's a sports podcast, and they love to rip on it. So
well, maybe I'll watch. I never watched that movie. I'll watch.
I say people do. These people do. So but yeah, I love the movie. I don't know. I like the music in the movie. So yeah. So, but that's kind of, I guess there's a lot more to this overall story of my music background, but that's
well, yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting that you, so in college you didn't have a girlfriend, or did you?
I had a big crush on a girl in college, but
okay. But you were in your
we
room.
We were not on the same.
I have the evidence of why you didn't have a girlfriend, because you have like 100 tracks on your computer that you were recording like every day.
Yeah, that's probably part of it.
You probably go to class and then just went right home, like put your headphones on and started producing.
I did a lot of that. Yeah. I mean, I was kind of social. I mean, I would go out, and I had a group of friends, but I didn't. I wasn't a partier, I guess you could say.
It's probably better, yeah.
But I mean, there was a particular girl in college that I was very interested in, but
well, Shannon on that says, cool. I have to watch the movie again. I started liking your post because of my last name, which is Graham. Oh, that's funny. And
okay. I see her on.
Then found I like your music, Shannon. Yeah, Shannon Graham.
Okay, yeah.
Well, shout out to Shannon.
Shout out to Shannon. She likes our stuff a lot, so always appreciate that.
And then fast forward out of college, then you had your folk album, the first Moonlight Graham's album. If you go to Spotify, you can listen to it. It's still on there.
Yeah, it's on our page. So.
Even some of your the earliest YouTube videos is a live show of it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if you dig back
there's
into the YouTube
there's
channel,
a live show of that.
If you rewind past all the videos of Theo, then you get to like the early Moonlight Grahams.
Yeah.
So we started. So how do we meet at church? We start playing in January. We played about 25 gigs and released, I don't know, 5 or 6 new songs since.
Yeah. So let's see. We released the first song that we released together was Good Riddance by Green Day. So we did a cover of that. We do that one live as well. And the second one we released was a cover by Keen called Sovereign Light Cafe. I was a huge Keen fan in college.
Yeah,
they were very instrumental. And, if you want to talk about my musical background, they were very instrumental, no pun intended.
Yeah.
And, my musical development. I was a super, super obsessed fan
of Keen. And that's funny because I never listened to Keen ever.
Yeah.
But Sovereign Light's that was a great song.
Yeah. And that was another one. Like I had done that one in college. And actually like people, a lot of my friends really liked the song, or at least they said they liked the song. But it had never been finished. And so it was cool when I said, like, hey, I got this, can we finish it? So it was really neat to be able to finish that song, get real drums, get real bass, things like that, and release it and kind of do it in our own style as well. And so, but what do we release after?
Well, we got a new chapter.
A new chapter. Okay, so the new chapter was our first original, and that was the one that Roger Stevens is on from Blind Melon. Really appreciated him doing that, and we had started doing that, working on that about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Right, yeah, and so again, a lot of this stuff just sat for a while, and so,
then we did Kashmir Pulaski Day, or you did acoustic.
well, we had we did that one.
Well, we
that
did
was,
Where the Streets Have No Name. They're not okay. They're in view of popularity. I'm trying to. They're not in review of release at this point. But Where the Streets Have No Name. That was probably my favorite release ever.
yeah,
so far.
that was.
It's hard to say because the one we just did, No Plan, is now my favorite. But I mean, Where the Streets Have No Name was good. All these are stretching me as a guitar player, so I get to do all these cool things. So every time I do it, I'm like, dude, that was so fun. So Where the Streets was fun.
Well, see, I love that song, and it so in case you don't know, it's a U2. I mean, but in case people out there don't know, it's a U2 cover. Off the Joshua Tree. Is my opinion is the Joshua Tree is the greatest album ever. That's my favorite album. I think it's the best ever. And so I've always really wanted to do a cover of that song. And dude, you the guitar parts in that song are the most important in my opinion. And
it is pretty heavily, it's pretty heavily guitar driven. Without them,
I underestimated how difficult those parts were going to be.
That one took me a while. I'm just the delay settings and all the YouTube videos I'd watch, but then the layering, and maybe we'll break that one down. I like to break we're not doing that today, but I'd like to break down some of those parts. Show people. Like there's I forget how many there were there like 12 or something on that one? There were quite a few. I stemmed them down.
Yeah, you send them down and send them to me, but yeah, I don't know how many original.
Yeah, so I would take like 3 guitar tracks, and then I mixed them into one and send them to you as one. So they were like a high and a medium and like a rhythm. There's a lot of rhythmic going on, so I mixed a lot of the delays together. So you might hear one guitar, but it's actually 3 to make it feel like it's. So I sent you one stem. It might have 3, and a lot of them had 3 because I had a little rhythm going in there with the delay, and then I had more of the melodic and then the harmonic structures going behind it. So when you put it together, it was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that many for No Plan, but still, No Plan. Oh, you want to listen to it? You want to get into No Plan?
Yeah. If you want to pull it up, yeah.
No Plan is just come out. It just came out today, so it's our first. It's our only release today, and it's our second original. It is. I mean, it's a weird song. The first time I heard this song, I remember I was sitting in my car and you're playing. I'm listening to it like, oh, geez, that's got a lot going on. It just goes from weird part to next weird part. But once I got in the studio, I started watching it. I could see like, okay, this is a part, this is a part, this is a part, and they made more sense to me. But when you hear it, I think the first time a listener hears it, there isn't like
it's all over the place.
It's all over the place. Yeah,
it kind of is. I mean, it's basically. I don't even know how to describe it because
it's unsettling at first. I think when you hear as the parts move, because it changes keys, changes rhythm.
Yeah.
And as a listener, at first it's like, oh, where's this going? Where's that going? But once you listen to it, the weird thing about this song is once you listen to it, it gets stuck in your head. Different parts of it. Like my son is going around humming it.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I'm glad to know it's
it does. So it's weird that it doesn't have the typical pop format, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. And that's what always makes me go like, what? Like I have to go, okay, crap. I'm going to have to think because this is not like what I'm used to. But then once I started playing it, it doesn't, it's not like it's so random. It's weird. It's kind of brilliant. I think actually the whole thing that you wrote.
Well, it's, and again, if you go back, so this song is another example of stuff that a lot of it is stuff that I'm just getting off my chest that I've had on it for like over a decade, because I wrote this song, I think it was 2013, so it's over a decade old.
So who was president when you wrote this song?
Was
it
I don't know,
2000?
y'all can
Was
go
this-
back and look at who was
This
president.
was
then.
Obama, right? Would it have been Obama?
That would have
'Cause
been
Trump
Obama,
would have been
yes.
16, right? So
Not a lot's changed since then.
yeah. So
But it's a song. I wrote it. In terms of the format itself, going back to the format, it's almost like a verse, pre-chorus, verse, pre-chorus, and then it goes into the chorus one time. I mean, I guess I consider that a chorus. Some other people might consider that a bridge.
what part do you consider the chorus?
Where it goes, all the promises you made and lost.
Yeah, that's where the bigger guitars come in.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, and then it goes into this bridge where it's got the little pianos, Celeste thingies going on.
That's more of a solo to me, but yeah.
Yeah. So,
But I can
and-
see how you think that's the chorus.
but then, and then it goes into,
There's not really
but then it goes into like this coda area. So like where it goes, it seems to me you had no plan. So it takes a completely different turn.
right.
And it's so hard. And again, it's like, we're sitting here debating like, is this the bridge? Is this the chorus? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think you might be right about the chorus. I don't know that there's a bridge.
The
in terms of,
the idea was to have one big chorus. And there's a song by the War on Drugs that does something very, very similar to that, where it's kind of this big climax. You only hear it once.
Yeah. Well, I think you hit that. Yeah.
But that was not when I wrote that, or when I wrote this song, that part was not in the original song. And so there was a lot of things that changed over time. Like it was this song transformed into something almost completely different than when it started over time. I want to find the original version that I had. I don't know where it is.
That would be cool. Yeah. It changes keys. It never really changes meter or tempo. It doesn't change tempo. But
Yeah, it doesn't.
Feels like
it doesn't
changes
change tempo.
feels.
Yeah.
It changes
Right.
feels. It has I don't know. Let's listen to the beginning. That's not it. Here's the beginning.
So like this part right here is not in the original version.
Long wars, fighting with no end in sight. Cold shores, the tide keeps rolling through the night. Landmines, erasing soldiers from our sights. Street signs, left is left and right is right. What's this cruel world coming to? What spills red as
This
the
is
sky is blue.
kind of a chorus, but not really the chorus. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess after thinking about it for a while, I'm just calling it a pre-chorus,
Yeah.
even though it's really not. I mean, it is kind of a chorus.
But a pre-chorus is really typically meant to lead to the chorus, which just doesn't.
Yeah,
This goes back to
it
a
leads
verse.
it leads back to that bridge that I'm calling a chorus.
Because this is verse 2, right?
Yeah.
Dying in the poison field.
And basically, the song is about. It's not aimed at a particular political party. It's just aimed at the leaders in charge of, you guys don't care. Like you guys just do what you want. You don't care about the people. It's just, you all just want power. Both parties.
Yeah, and they have no plan.
They have no plan.
Yeah, kind of
And
like
so,
we started. It's kind of like our podcast started.
Exactly. But it's, yeah, I mean, you could take this song and apply it to, it seems very, very relevant now, more than it's ever seemed.
And here's your
But-
chorus. Here comes your chorus, right?
So this is technically the chorus,
All the promises you made in love.
which was added later.
Weak minds heard what they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And you never truly count the cost of the lives and burdens you will bear. Of the lives and burdens you will bear.
so the beginning of the song is going back and forth between, like, there's one line is about like war, and then the next line is about like an everyday, like a child learning training wheels, like everyday life, and it's
okay.
going back and forth. It's going to, like, a city's being blasted out of sight, and then
People are dancing
people are
around.
dancing around. Yeah,
That I think those lyrics are pretty.
it goes
Pretty
back and
awesome.
forth, and so it's
Yeah.
kind of hinting at frustration about the way things are, and then like you get into that big middle chorus, and it's like it's starting to really direct at the leaders, of our country. And so now you're getting to this part we're hearing right now, and it's like, you guys don't care about us. You guys are just screwing around, and y'all don't care.
Rambling thoughts of a true college student, right?
Well, I just graduated college.
Ah.
But yeah, I mean, I was still like 23 years old, something like that. Now this part coming up, yeah, all this was added later too.
The great synth bass part there.
I love that. This song. So if I were to give top 3 band influences on this song, U2, The War on Drugs, and Meat Math. So if any of you hear that out there, then y'all can kind of figure out.
Like
Like
George
that.
Bush's War on Drugs. Just say no.
Well, there is a band called The War on Drugs that I like to
Right.
listen to.
I was in junior high, probably elementary school, when they did all that Just Say No stuff.
What was that, the Clinton era, or was
No,
that,
it was a
or George
Bush. I think it was the
senior Bush?
first Bush,
That was
yeah.
senior Bush, yeah.
Right, yeah, the whole Just Say No.
Just saying it. Okay, yeah.
I was like, so what? To say no to what? I don't even know. I'm like in
I was
third
like
grade.
I was like 2 years old when that was
Yeah.
going on. So
But I guess it does work if you just say no.
yeah,
It's pretty simple. I
yeah. I
guess.
mean, yeah. Look, don't do drugs. I
Yeah,
mean,
unless you already did drugs, and then you're like, dang it, I can't say no, and that's why people die.
That's right. I mean, it's a big problem out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this song is just it's a song of it's one of the more honest songs I think I've written. It's a song that shows a lot of frustration towards the leadership of the country, and again, it seems to always be this way, no matter who's in power, because it's about power. There's a saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and they
it's funny how you think you're going to get a different politician, and then all of a sudden it's going to be so great, and then they just do whatever they want anyway.
what
are you doing?
They all want the same thing. They want to be in power.
Yeah.
Some more than others. I have my political views, but I think there's a general uniting aspect of, we can all agree on that there is a lust for power that never has seemed to go away.
Yeah, it's kind of like the term limits for Congress or whatever.
I mean, we can all agree on that.
They're never going to vote themselves. Yeah, we can only get one term or whatever. They're never going to change.
It's interesting because when there's a story, and I'm trying to remember who the president was. But there's one of the very first presidents, like, didn't want to be president. He was like, when he won the election, he was like, oh, okay. Which is not like that now. There's these campaigns, and they smear each other, and they just,
I'm thinking we could have like 2 or 3 presidents, or 4, just different ones. Like, you could have whoever you want. Like, we could just split it up, and like, if you want, we kind of have that now.
Yeah.
Kind of go this direction in the country or that direction, or go to this city if you want.
Yeah,
I think that's good. I mean, it's a little bit more like, do what you want to do and go where you want to go, I guess. But having one president over the whole country, just putting and then they keep going back and forth.
Yeah,
it's insane. That's why we're musicians and not political talk show hosts, I guess.
Yeah,
that'd be frustrating.
Oh yeah, I mean, just think about how angry you would be every day if you were doing a political talk show every day. Because like you're not doing the positives of politics. I mean, nobody. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to listen to a show about that, right?
Right.
They just want to know what the other side's doing wrong, and so you'd be angry all the time.
Yeah, the guys I listen to, because I listen to a lot of political podcasts almost every day, and I have been wondering, like, how do they ever, like, how do they go to sleep? How do they just ranting
Yeah.
all day for like 2 or 3 hours, and then they go the next day they're ranting, and it's like the same blatant crap that they got to rant over. It
Yeah,
would be terrible.
And so yeah, and I think this song was. I'm so glad that we finally got to release this because and again, it's a song that, you know, whatever side, whether you're far left or far right or in the middle, I think you can relate to it. You know, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you can definitely relate to it. You know, and for me, for sure, like it seems like we could have released this at any time in the past decade,
Oh yeah.
and it would have been relevant.
Yeah,
been totally
so we
relevant.
need to get this. We need to get this up to the for the. We're in an election year. Are we?
Yeah,
is it 20, is it going to be in November?
It is an election year, yeah.
So it's a perfect mix for the song. We should get this into the election cycle, political commentary TV shows, because it kind of does say a lot of stuff, and the cover's great. If you guys go on Spotify, make sure you like and subscribe to us on Spotify or whatever you follow. You can see the album cover. Actually,
so Eric, you sat and you just drew all of that, right?
Yeah,
like
I drew all this.
You
this
drew it
cover right here.
You took out a pencil and some paint and painted all this, right?
Yep, right there it is. No plan. I painted that eagle right there, and got it all. No, I did not do that.
I'll say this, like one of the things I really enjoy about whenever we release a song is, and AI is a whole nother topic in itself. And I think most of it's going to be detrimental, but there's some really cool things about it too.
Oh yeah, I'm into AI.
You can just type in a few words and you get some really cool art. It's giving us really cool artwork
until it comes over and takes over a whole life.
Right, and that's a problem.
Once it does that, we're in trouble.
But I mean, yeah, it's given us some really, really cool artwork. I love the artwork for Where the Streets Have No Name. Like I love the artwork for that song.
Oh yeah, I don't have that. I might be able to.
A New Chapter is great too. Actually, I feel like I'm about to go through all the songs and say, yeah, I love the artwork for that one. I really do.
You probably would, yeah.
Yeah, I really do love all.
Well, almost all of our artwork so far, since I've been in the band, has been AI generated.
Yeah.
Which I think has been pretty cool.
So I have for the Moonlight Grams folk album that was released about 5 years ago. I have a cousin. I think he's, I never really know how to do like second, third, fourth cousin, all that kind of stuff. Once removed, I don't. Right. But I think he's my third cousin, and he was an architect in Birmingham. Bill Williams, we call him Bubba Williams. I don't know if he wants us or wants everybody to know that, but he was an architect.
They know now. So
yeah, they know now. The world knows. And he designed a lot of really iconic buildings in Birmingham. There's a Statue of Liberty. It's really? Called Liberty Park.
Your uncle did this?
It's my third cousin.
Oh, third cousin.
Yeah, he designed Liberty Park in Birmingham. So if you're in Birmingham, you know what I'm talking about. But he's retired, and so he started doing this artwork for musicians. And so, like, he would take a song, and he would draw out the lyrics, and he would have some weird, like, background, whatever. Like, he might have a skyline or something, the Nashville skyline in the background or something. And he did a really cool thing for one of my songs, the Coffee Song. It's on my wall. It's just this really, really cool artwork. One of the later episodes, we can show some of the artwork. But basically, I took a piece of one of with his permission, of course, something that he had been working on, and took a small, tiny piece and blew that up and made that the album cover. For
Oh,
that,
that's
for
for
the
the
Moonlight Grams
for the Moonlight
album.
Grams
Yeah.
album.
And so, which was really cool as well. So, if you get a chance, take a look at that. But we've definitely changed our image for sure. We have a new logo and everything.
Yeah, that happened.
Because we're I mean, I consider us an alternative rock band now, right? I mean, is that what you would call us?
Yeah, I don't know what I put No Plan under, like pop alternative. But,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, it's
kinda.
not folk anymore.
It's not. It's more pop. That song to me is more pop than rock, but because
Yeah.
it's more. It's got all those synth sounds and weird stuff going on.
A lot of 80s influence.
Yeah,
A lot of 80s influence.
that's why I was thinking electric. What did I send you that song? The electric, not the electric slide.
Electric Avenue?
Yeah, Electric Avenue.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, if you listen to that, it almost sounds like your song from back. You know, it's got all this.
I guess it kind of does, doesn't it?
I was like, dude, John could do this, and then I'm gonna do Electric Avenue. There's that bass in there. That's all I want to do on that song. I want to play the one guitar part, like chink chicka chink, Electric Avenue.
See, this is the fun thing too about giving songs to Eric, is because a lot of this stuff I've already written, and I'm like, hey, okay, like do a guitar part, and just, you know, my nickname for him is Guitar Czar.
Guitar Czar.
I guess maybe we should just call you the Czar.
The Czar.
Kind of like the Edge. We'd call you the Czar.
Okay, the Czar.
So this is the Czar right here.
Czar.
Yeah,
I mean, No Plan was already done, like 90%, 95%.
And I put some guitar parts in there, but I mean, like my guitar playing is you know, very, very small compared to Eric's, and so like there's, you know, I can come up with some parts, but like he made the song a lot better just by some of he made the, I guess what we call in the pre-chorus, like made that infinitely better.
Yeah, it takes some time. Okay, let's listen to the part that I didn't. John wanted me to redo these, but I just couldn't figure out how to do it. So this is the
which part?
This end part, this guitar right here.
Seems to me you had no plan.
It actually comes out here.
Oh yeah, I guess I did that part. Yeah.
Yeah, these I just thought I can't mimic this. I just really like this part, so I just wouldn't leave it in there.
Which is what it is. Like I give the guitar.
This part
So it's
right
like
here.
if you want to keep it, then you can keep it.
Bringing balance to this land. Seems
That's
to
just a little guitar loop, but
Yeah.
that's you playing. But that part is so, to me, it was already like perfection. Really, I tried to mimic it, but it just didn't. The tone. Sometimes the stuff just sounds like it fits right in the mix. So this part, though, I think this really did. This guitar part, I think, really did add something to here.
I think it really
coming
did. Yeah.
to, blood spills red as the sky is blue. Just another passing day, shackled by the stealing chains.
It's a haunting,
Yeah, it's haunting.
melodic thing.
Yeah.
And then what is that? My son played a dive bomb. Let's shout him out.
Yeah.
My son's 11.
Yeah.
He turned 11 this week, but where's his dive bomb? Let me see. Is it right here coming up?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Here's
yeah.
his dive bomb. It's coming right after this part. Yeah, there's all kinds of.
That's become one of my favorite parts of the song.
It is. Yeah, and I've got these tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get weird with this song and I think we achieved it.
Well,
but-
because it's weird. It's a weird song.
So he was he was in here listening, and I'm sorry, his bedroom's like right next door. So every time I'm in here, like for 3 days in a row, that song took me days and days, because I was like listening, I'd play it, then I'd listen and play it. So he comes in, and about the third day, I had everything done except for just some sound effects. So I was showing him, here's how I'm doing some sound effects, and he grabs this guitar off the wall and starts doing these dive bombs. I'm like, yeah, we plugged it in and just started recording. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. And he was just going wow, wow, wow the whole time.
I think there was one particular song I think he got so sick of. He was like, I hate this song, because he heard it over and over again.
I forget which one. That might have been the U2 song. He does actually get sick of them, and then once he's sick of them, he like hates them. He'll like every time I play him, he's like, stop that, turn that off. But and he'll still listen to it. But the problem is he'll hear it like 37 times in like an afternoon, and then I get in the car to take him to Taco Bell. I'm pulling up a mix. I'm like, oh, here, and he's like, Dad, so he's been kind of tortured a slight bit on
Well,
that.
and it's
but
not like he's hearing the whole song all the way through
No.
over and over. He's just hearing like little clips over and over, and then it's going back. Dick.
Yeah, that's one thing he
know.
gets mad about with Emily's stuff is I'll listen to like for some reason I'll have like the chorus over and over again. As I'm like tuning vocals or EQing, it's like the same part just over and over and over and over, and he gets really mad. So I have been mixing in headphones a lot lately because if I do that, then they don't know what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, and I guess learning how to mix in there. You said you have these mixing headphones now, right? Because typically you don't want to do that, but if you have like the right headphones for that, like
I have the Steven Slate, like ridiculously expensive. Well, they're not that bad. They're like $300-400, but that's kind of a lot for headphones.
Yeah.
But they have like a whole computer software program, and they have like 10 different emulations of rooms. So I've never really mixed in those. I bought them and I wanted to like them, and I don't not like them, but the other pair, how you get used to headphones.
Right.
I'm so used to my other pair that I trust them. They're like my friend. These new ones, the problem that I find with them is you can change the room by clicking buttons. So they change completely in your headphones. You can, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, I just need to spend more time with them and say, I'm going to commit to this, because I know that there are guys that mix full records on them and they swear by them. They swear they're like amazing, and I believe them, but I haven't been able to trust them enough because I'm just not used to them.
Right.
I'm going to have to mix with them for like a year.
Well, it's kind of fun. This is the fun part about it. Like, we released, the first song was Good Riddance, right? And so, like, we've totally changed so many things even since then. I guess we released that in April or May.
It was pretty early.
Yeah, so I guess it was 6-7 months ago. But we've evolved in the way that we've, mix songs, and there's certain things, like I look back at that song and I like that song, but it's like, yeah, that we could have, there's a number of things we could have done better on that. But it was simple, it was a simple, and it's still one of my favorites. I love that song.
Yeah, that was like an acoustic with some electric guitar on it.
Yeah,
it wasn't anywhere near like No Plan or
right. Yeah, and didn't really have drums. They had a bass drum in there, and that was it.
We almost had drums. I tried to play drums. Remember on that one?
I
did play the drums for a minute, but then we ended up keeping.
I played the bass.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and we both were just like, no.
Did we find? Are you playing the bass on it? I think you are.
On that song, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we fired me from playing bass.
Did we fire you?
Yeah.
Because when I looked at the bass track, it had it was all cut. Like
it's chopped
97 cuts.
Yeah.
But now we have.
I know my lane. I know my lane now. So I mean, I am not a bass player. I'm not even really a great guitar player. I play rhythm guitar.
Well, you definitely can play the guitar. So
I mean, I play rhythm guitar, but I'm not like anywhere close to you on that.
But you played on the record. The thing about your thing is you're producing and making all these parts, and even though your guitar tone might be scratchy or like you might hear like little mistakes, the parts are right.
Right. It's from a production standpoint.
And sometimes for me, being like a perfectionistic guitar player, or that being my main lane, I like that part where you're like, you need to redo that. I'm like, no, I like this. When you capture something and it's like, oh, that's good. Like that part sounds a little clanky, but that is why I like that part. Because it's not, I did that part in here and I was like, oh, it got all this great tone on it. And then I was like, it took away from the personality of that part. That's why I wanted to keep it. I think that's, so I think you just have to.
I'm a singer and more of a production guy, and I play the piano pretty well too. So I play the piano better than I do the guitar.
Yeah, it's hard because I want to be a drummer, and I am a drummer, and I can play the drums pretty good. But
you can play like every single instrument.
I can play a lot of those. But then when you listen to the drums,
better than me.
Well, I do play the drums, and I played them a long time. I played on a lot of my own out records, and I usually like my playing better than most people's. If they go play for me, I'm like, no, I wanted this fill and I wanted that. You know how it is. You
Right.
hear what you hear, and then you give it to a drummer, and they give it back to you like, what the heck just happened to that?
Right.
So, but I do notice, like, as a drummer, because I'm not a drummer. We have some drummers in our circle of musicians now. It's like their technique is better, their tone is better, their pocket is better. So I'm like, I know what you mean. Like, I can feel and hear the part, but like if they played it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's better. Like it
Yeah,
just,
give it to Caleb and let him do it.
That's what I was talking
But
about.
yeah, I knew exactly what you were talking about.
But sometimes I probably would like my drum part fine if it was like the right part. But if it's like if you want that nuanced pro like polish to it, like Caleb does it, and it's like, yeah, that's what I wanted.
I feel like I need to learn how to like some drum basics. Cause I mean, so you and I both did the youth at church. So like we both did music for the youth. And so one of the things that I would kind of let the kids, have a little fun, poke fun at me. So one of the ways I would do that was I would get on the drums. Because I'm really, really, really bad at the drums.
Like I was never
horrible.
There. Did you play like for the service?
Oh no!
Or you just played at practice?
Oh gosh,
you just played at practice.
Oh, I would just get on the drums for a minute and just let them make fun of me because I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible drummer. Now,
but can you play like a regular? Like you understand how to play them a little bit?
I mean, I understand the concept of it, but actually doing it and like being coordinated and this hand's doing one thing, this hand's doing another thing. Got my my foot doing the bass. Like you can't do that. Which is something I'm trying to improve on the piano too. Like this hand not knowing what this hand's doing, and so like that's I think from a piano standpoint, that's kind of my next goal of learning how to,
just learn some of that Joplin, piano. What is that song he did? Entertainer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's hard crap right there.
Yeah.
I learned the beginning, like, page or two of that. And it took me like 6 months. And I would go because I would be tuning pianos and I'd try to play it. And at some point I just gave up. I'm like, forget it. Because you watch them on YouTube, videos of these guys doing it, and their hands are like two different people just going at it. So I gave up.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm trying to, again, I love where I am as a musician, but I feel like I've got so much farther to go to, especially like on the piano, that like I would love to be just a great piano player. Like my dad's a great piano player. So I want to eventually,
you want to surpass your dad?
I don't know if I want to surpass him or not. I don't think I ever will, but,
just call him up. Be like, Dad, can I get piano lessons?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if piano lessons from my dad, because he's got it. What he's doing in his head is very hard to teach what he's doing. So,
okay. Does
but he and I think the same way though too. And so like he can read music now, but like he's a natural ear player. I can't really read music. I mean,
so he's got like the double threat. He can read the music, but then he starts playing by ear and just putting a bunch.
He really plays by ear. Like he would, and and I grew up and listening to him play on that that Steinway Grand, that old Steinway Grand that he has for years.
What's his main like style? Is it jazz or like rock? Or?
He can play jazz. He loves jazz. He loves Nat King Cole. That's like his big.
Because I've never seen your dad actually play the piano.
I mean, he plays a lot of church music.
Yeah,
but he loves a lot of jazz. He can play it really well. And so, yeah.
Does he play boogie woogie like that? And played like the blues right hand. I had a guy that my piano tuning mentor was like a boogie woogie bass like expert.
Is that what you call it, boogie woogie?
That's what I call it. Yeah, like don't. There's
a lot. I'm curious to see like what he can do that I've never even seen. Because I mean, there's certain things you can do, but you don't ever really do.
Right. He probably waited till you were at school and then he started boogie woogieing on the bass notes. But my buddy Jack could rip it up. And I tried to do that too. He taught me some stuff. and I just did it for a while. And man, I can play the piano fine, like more of like a pop rock style,
Right.
and I can run scales and arpeggios like classically.
Yeah, see, I can do all that stuff. Yeah.
But
But once
some
you
of
get,
this,
yeah.
I think that some piano players are stuck where I am. You know, I can play like that, but if you say, okay, now play this style, I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
how to do that.
Yep.
I hate when people say like, play me a song, and I'm like, I only know church songs and some Moonlight Graham songs. So what? I know more now.
Yeah,
But, you know,
I
you
guess.
go to a party and
Yeah.
people are like, yeah, play us a song, and I'm like, Lord, I lift him on high.
Yeah, I think I was telling you yesterday. I was in kindergarten when we were singing that song.
Trading my
the
sorrows.
little hand motions and
Oh yeah. Wait, you just did Napoleon Dynamite hand motions.
they weren't much different.
Yeah.
There was not much of a difference.
That's right. Yeah, you came from heaven to earth. I can picture this hand motion thing going on now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was.
I wouldn't remember it. Don't remember it.
You want to? Yeah, maybe we can share with our audience.
Just
all the hand motions.
YouTube. You know, Lord, I lift him on high, hand positions or something. You know, that's.
Let me ask you this: what is your biggest band influence? Like, who's your? If you had to pick a favorite band over the years, I mean, we all go through phases of like, this is my favorite band now, this is my favorite then, you know. But if you had an overall favorite band, where would you go?
I mean, I'm probably gonna have to say Metallica. It's weird.
Okay, yeah,
but
they got some good stuff.
But I have, yeah. But then guitar wise, I'd probably be more like the Satriani.
Oh yeah,
you know,
okay.
Like Joe Satriani and those guys, because I listened.
We
to
saw
a lot
him about a year ago.
Oh yeah.
We went to the Ryman and saw him.
Yeah, those guys shaped my
Coldplay.
Yeah, they shaped my technique or my melodic structure as a guitar player. But I would say Guns N' Roses and Metallica. I hate it. Sounds shallow. I mean, maybe that's shallow. A lot of people say, you know, the Beatles and all this stuff, and you probably have a ton more influence than I do of different bands. I grew up listening to Metallica and Guns N' Roses and like hair metal, and then I listened to a lot of virtuoso guitarists. And then when grunge came out, Nirvana, I was already like entrenched, like they suck, you know. I'm like, that's not guitar playing. They played like two notes. Now I don't think that now, but like when I was young and Nirvana comes out, you've got
when was Nirvana? Early 90s,
probably
right?
like 92, 91, 92, 93. Like the grunge era took over. So you had like early, like
that was the Blind Melon era. Yeah. The same era.
Yeah. You had, like what I'm listening to is like Bon Jovi and these hair metal bands. The guitar solos were just, you know, melt your face off. And then Nirvana comes out and they go massive famous. And then it's like ding, ding, two notes. So I was like, that's dumb. Four power chords. And so I wasn't as close-minded. A lot of people just hated that stuff. I was sort of in the middle because I liked pop music, like popular music. Like I wasn't so shut off, but I have friends that are completely shut off. Like Nirvana's crap, they can't play. But I looked at the genius of that. I mean, they changed the whole music industry, and the grunge era is fine. But I definitely grew up on a more virtuoso style thing. But I wasn't like a virtuoso guitar player. So I liked Guns N' Roses because they were kind of a mix between the old hair and Slash is a good guitar player, but not like Satriani. He's not like a virtuoso like that. He's like a rock pop.
Speaking of Guns N' Roses,
yeah,
is that our next big song that's coming out?
It's probably getting close to it. Yeah,
Knocking on Heaven's Door.
It might be. Yeah,
I mean we're releasing the another original, the vocoder song. What is it called? We're about to release a song in like 2 weeks, and I can't.
Okay, so the next one is going to be the vocoder, and then it'll be
just call it the vocoder song,
which is kind of cool. And then
it's called Quicksand. It's called Quicksand.
And then it'll probably be either Guns N' Roses or
yeah, I think the next one is that song is the Knocking on Heaven's Door song.
That's probably the most influential song or era of what I was playing.
And you're singing it.
Yeah, that's going to be like that's going to be the first. Well, it'll be the first Moonlight Graham song that I'm on, like singing lead for sure.
Yeah.
And we do like a really cool. Our version could be big, I think.
Yeah, it's one of the whenever we play live, it's one of the last songs that we play. It's like the second or third to
It's
last song.
different than, it's a good version. It's got our own vibe to it, but I am going to steal some of the probably slash licks. It's not like we've gone completely over to a new version,
right.
but we added like some cool harmonies. We're not going to sing like Axl Rose.
Right.
But yeah, my influence would probably be those guys. But in the last like 10 years, I listened to Brad Paisley, weirdly enough, while I was leading worship for about 5 years. I listened to only Brad Paisley albums over and over. I'm not kidding you,
Really?
nonstop, just listening to more of the country stuff. I listened
I
to
remember that song "Celebrity." I used to like that song.
Oh, yeah.
"Celebrity."
Yeah, and I saw him in concert like
I
3
went
or
through
4
a country
times.
phase in high school, like for a couple of years. Like, I guess, and it would have been the early to mid 2000s, which was, and it also included like 90s country.
But my wife
not a bad
is
era.
my musical, and then when I went to college, I was trained classically, so it was all classical. So I have a weird mix. And then I got into church music, and that's completely not like band stuff. That's totally different style. So
Yeah,
I would
very,
still
very-
reach all the way back to when I explain myself as a guitar player. I'm usually like to other guitar players, I'm like I'm a blues rock player. I'm not like a jazz player. I'm not like a fusion. I'm not even really like a satch, guy. I'm more of a blues rock player, but so big rock,
Mhm.
but not. I like some virtuoso type stuff or some like flashy stuff, but that's not like my go-to. Is like some in college and right before college, I played in a band that was like really heavy. It was like Pantera,
Mhm.
and I did like Pantera for a short time. Like really liked them, so it was very heavy. But they hated God, so
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not good.
they're super God haters.
Yeah.
So far as like Dimebag, he got shot on stage. Did you know that?
No.
He actually, their lead guitar player, literally somebody just went up on stage and shot him in a concert. That's how he died.
That is really not cool.
That's terrible.
That's a really
But they
not
were
nice thing to
they
do.
were angry people. I mean, I'm not saying that's why he got shot, but I'm just saying that they were like, "F you, God, you're not even real." They were like very like angry, and then to see their fans just, I don't know why the guy did that, but he was a great heavy metal rock guitar player. Dimebag Darrell.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. You said because our music, and in the way that I write lyrics, it's not quote Christian music. It's not like the part of the the Christian music worship scene. But so I would say my biggest influence over the years, at the end of the day, has been U2. Love U2. I love Bono. I love the way he writes. They're 3 out of 4 of them, including Bono, are Christians. And Bono, I mean, they're not a Christian music industry band, but he's
No.
writing lyrics that expresses his faith in God, and so that's from a lyric standpoint, he's probably my biggest influence for sure. Because I love to incorporate my faith in God, my Christian faith, in my lyrics, and it's not necessarily every song. I don't think like No Plan. I don't feel like had any Christian themes in there.
You could have done like the Lord's Prayer at the very end or something.
Yeah.
You could have had a kid say the Lord's Prayer at the very end.
Yeah, it's that song didn't incorporate
an
any
English kid like, "Our Father." That would have been weird, but
yeah, it'd have been definitely very weird.
Then you could have called it like contemporary Christian.
Well, but in a new chapter, I definitely Eric's over here being sacrilegious. In a new chapter, I tried to incorporate some of that, and and Quicksand probably the next, which is the vocoder song, but that's really talking about my Christian walk, like my Christian walk over the years. And so I'm really excited to release that song. And so, but yeah, and so like I love the fact that U2, Bono, Mute Math is very much like this too. Like they incorporate a lot of their Christian, and I've been very influenced by them as well. I mean, this song today was very much influenced by them. But yeah, just incorporating the who I am, and not just like, okay, well, this is a Christian song, and this is what the Christian industry. These are the types of lyrics that they want to hear, but just it's more of an honesty. This is about me telling you, this is who I am. This is how I feel. This is again, this is how I feel about the political structure today, or this is how I feel. A new chapter. I'm going on a new journey in life. I wrote that right before, I graduated from college, and so, but also is very relevant to today. And so just being honest.
So which one of these songs is about a girl? You got any?
Let's see. Well, I guess you can go back to the folk album. And I'm writing stuff too that, I mean, I don't have any current women in my life, but so ladies,
the single ladies. I'll put your phone number on the screen.
I'm trying to In Case You Come Back was about a particular girl from a long time ago. That was probably, I would say, the most catchy song on the folk album. What was it called? Knight in Shining Armor. Isn't this terrible? I have these songs that I've released and I can't remember the names of the song.
What about this song? I'm gonna give you, like Happy House, and I'm gonna. There's a song about a girl that you sang it live, didn't you? Or is that not your song?
Which one?
I don't know. There's one from your old album that I think you sang.
Yeah, it's and I'm blanking on the name of it. It's terrible. I can't remember the names of my own songs.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah, take a look at the list and see. Pull that album up.
So
go through the album and I'll tell you if it's about a girl or not.
Okay, yeah. This is let's see here. Make sure go through the album. I can't even find the album. How do you find the album? Oh, see discography. Discography. You have a discography. It's like there it is. All right. So here's the last segment of our podcast today. We'll find out which one of these is about a girl. Finding Home.
Yeah, it's not about a particular girl, but just, I guess, in general.
Oh, okay. Small Town. No, that's not about a girl. Is it?
No, not really. No.
Romance in the Harbor.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Again, that one's not about a particular girl, but it's
okay. In Case You Come Back.
I guess I'll put it to you this way: there were a few women while I was single at the time that I had come into my mind, I guess, for different parts of the story.
Okay, so you're two-timing these girls in this. So it's not about one specific girl, but Simple Man in Love.
Now, In Case You Come Back was about one specific girl.
Okay, In Case You Come Back.
I hope she's not listening.
That was about one specific girl. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that one's about a girl. It's got some harmonic on there. Simple Man in Love. A lot of these are about a girl. Regular Joe, True Love, The Coffee Song, The Bluebird.
The Coffee Song is definitely about a girl.
A specific girl?
Yeah, it was. There was a girl in college that I went to. That's my dad playing the piano, by the way.
Tell the story. Make it all.
Let's see. Yeah, there was one particular girl I went out on a couple dates in college with, and I never went anywhere, but yeah, I ended up, definitely influenced this song.
Is she married now?
I'm pretty sure.
All right. Sorry.
Most of these women are married now, so.
We need to find a song that you wrote about a girl who is not married and then call her up.
Yeah. I don't know if that exists. It may exist in the future, though.
We got to get a future song. All right, so let me check. There are no more comments. Shannon, thanks for commenting. If you want to comment on these videos on our next podcast, we will answer your.
Give us some questions.
Yeah,
give us some questions.
Just give John a bunch of questions about ladies. And here's No Plan. Check it out on Spotify. Just go to the Moonlight Grams on Spotify. Check out No Plan. It's right there. I guess it'll be on Apple Music too. It'll be everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It'll be everywhere. Hopefully you hear it on the beginning of Back to the Future 4, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So another interesting topic, because I was looking at that and I'm not sure if it's real or not. It may be
really?
real. I don't know. I think there's a big mystery about whether this trailer that came out is actually, it looks real, but
It does look real.
It does look real.
Maybe it was like an AI joke, like a.
There's no such thing as video evidence anymore. It's
Huh.
gone.
So
There's no such thing as video evidence.
Really,
'Cause
is there
AI
really?
you can-
Is there what is it? Back to the Future 4?
Yeah. It's a. I started looking that up after we talked about it yesterday, and I was like, I don't know if this is
Okay.
real or not.
Well, this says rumors debunked. Unfortunately, the trailer that has been doing rounds on YouTube is nothing but a fake. That's what. But I think that they don't know.
But it looks so real. Like you've got old Michael J. Fox and old Christopher Lloyd, and then you've got Tom Holland. But see, I wonder if those are like deep fakes or something, you know?
Yeah, it might be.
But again, like they've got their voices and everything as well. So I don't know. What it looked like it might have been is like they're starting something up, but I don't know if they're going to finish it or not. I would love to see that.
I would, dude. I would be
love Back to
bummed
the
if it's
Future.
not real, because I just told my wife about it. I'm like, we're gonna go see this. You know,
It might be a while before it comes out.
Yeah,
if
it might
it's-
be
if it's
totally
real.
fake. You know, it might be totally fake.
See, that's the thing with AI. Like AI is pretty much just wiped out video evidence because you can just make up video now.
You just
Like
make
you
it
just
up.
make it all up.
Yo, Barrett, Severance. Yo,
Barrett,
yo.
what's up?
You know Barrett?
Yeah, Barrett's a good friend of mine. We go all the way back to elementary school.
Oh, really?
All the way back, yeah.
Well, let's tell stories on Barrett next week then.
Barrett, you want me to do that?
Yeah, Barrett, email me some stories about John in elementary school, some secret stories.
Oh, that's fantastic. I can't wait for those.
That can happen. I don't know. You have anything else? We're at an hour and 15 now.
Okay, yeah. I think this is good for our first.
Drink some coffee.
Unless Barrett wants to tell some stories about me, but
yeah, tell us, Barrett, who is I don't know. Just send me some DMs on John's most ridiculous moments of elementary school.
Yeah, he could probably write a book. He could probably write a book on that. I mean, he's got all the way through high school, so he's got elementary, middle,
That's
and
terrible.
high school. Yeah,
We should ban him from the channel. You don't want him talking to me. He knows everything. He knows it all, dude.
Barrett's come to see us before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Barrett came to see us.
All right, so I've met him.
I think it was at Izzy's. Yeah. Is he still on there?
He was a minute ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He just said yo about, I don't know, 4 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Yo, what's up?
Yo, Barrett. All right. On that note, yeah, it looks like he's still watching on the Facebook. He's watching on the Facebook. I feel like an old guy now.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so that's good news that the Facebook is working on this. So
that's where a couple of our viewers were. All right, we're gonna play out the song. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is almost the end. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
y'all have a good one.